Good evening, All Stars. Welcome to game week 22 of the season that merrily rolls along. Just going to pop a quick message in the group to let people know we're live. Delighted to say that we are joined by not just a former chairman and not just a former league winner, but an actual genuine top bloke. KD, how you doing, mate?
Evening, mate. Yeah, really good. Thank you for that. Very nice of you.
Yeah,
Thank
always,
you.
mate.
Yeah.
Always, mate. You're a top lad.
Feelings
Top lad.
mutual, obviously.
Yeah. Cheers, bud. Cheers, bud.
Yeah.
Daz is in the chat. We'll just wait for a couple of filter in. We'll just have a little bit of a look at where we're at in terms of the league table. So we have went round the turn at the famous game week 20, which is really the time where people start to need to be picking up some form and some consistency. Dragons top on 40 points. Steve Vanuatu, who's had a bit of a wobble. 3 defeats on the spin, I believe. Yep, 3 defeats on the spin, and looking to pull back some form tonight. Then followed by the Vikings, Warriors, and Blitz, who are imperious as always. And then the Unicorns, who have also just turned around a little bit of a wobble. A little bit of inconsistency, you'd probably say, more so than a wobble, but although 3 defeats on the bounce did have Smuts a little bit worried, but he has re-established himself with a good win last time out. Then below the dotted line, KD, it's kind of make or break for these teams below the dotted line tonight, would you say?
Yeah, everyone has to win, doesn't it? I would say,
Yeah.
Well, we got down to Bush Rats. Even then, us and Bush Rats are probably pushing it a bit, aren't we? So, yeah, Townsville and Time Wasters probably the 2 that absolutely have to tonight.
Yeah, I think Bush Rats were the only team below the dotted line to win, bar, of course, Wanganui, was it? But they are that kind of miles out of it. Yeah, Bush Rats are the only team outside of the top 6 to win the other night, which of course is massive. So you've got Townsville, probably need a win tonight to kind of keep some distance, because I can't see Warriors, Blitz, and Unicorns not winning. So there's at least going to be a 6-point gap if he doesn't win. And then I'd say probably what unites these teams is decent performances, but inconsistencies down across the season. Not bad teams by any stretch.
Yeah, we said, didn't we, before we come on, that Waves, for me, definitely played really well for a bit, then went weeks without getting anything, picked up a bit, and now going back down again. So, yeah.
Yeah, and consistency is the key when we get that turn at game week 20. So we will start tonight. We have had just the one request for an early shout. OB has a haircut in the next 10 minutes. Bearing in mind he's on US time, so that will explain that before we get the queries. Double T boys were really, really solid. They won the longest unbeaten run in the league of 8 games, I believe, until the Unicorns beat them 2-0 last time out. This is how they go. Serginho comes in for his debut in DML, interestingly, which is a sign they've struggled to get over the line for a couple of weeks. The game database was just being a little bit of a nightmare. Quite a traditional kind of 2-7-1, but with the 1 and the 2 up top. Any thoughts on this 11, Dan?
Yeah, it's been consistent, hasn't it, for a couple of years? So, Serginho's a good signing, though. I like that at left wing back. Contra on the right as well. That's pretty good. He didn't do a lot, but he was at Aborigines, wasn't he? So,
yeah, 2 not quite kind of elite wing backs, but very, very close to it, I'd say.
Yeah, definitely.
Serginho number 3 makes total sense for a left back. And their opponents tonight are, of course, Steve and Vanuatu. Let me just message Steve and let him know that he's up first. Because I know he's
another decent side, and it hasn't. Well, he's still going well. He's second. Last few games dropped off a bit. Was probably Nicky Franco had that absolutely stunning season for me, and then hasn't really performed to that level, has he? But still, obviously, gets goals, doesn't he?
Yeah, there's Steve in the chat there now. Brilliant. He's not been kind of, I mean, he was phenomenal this season, wasn't he? He was absolutely unreal. Not quite being the same. And as we say, Steve looked imperious for a long, long time. And has just struggled the last couple of weeks, but the game does do that to you. So we will go over to our first game of the night, which is the 2-2 boys. Dan, ask you for a prediction here, mate.
Glorious by the odd goal, I reckon. Both to score.
Yeah. They have had a knack this season for kind of winning 1-0s and 2-1s and just being really, really defensively solid. 2-2 boys do have a lot of attacking talent, though, in that front 3 and with the wing backs. Van Nistelrooy, who's been very, very good for them for a long time. Post and Eyes. I think that was a double post. I think, and who's that sent off? Contra is sent off, and that could be a big red card. I think Figo hit the post and Montella had hit the post in the reverse order, but I think that was a double post hit and then a save from the keeper. We'll check that at half time. I'm guessing here, Dan, it's probably going to be Matty Holland, maybe for
Matty Holland, maybe for Rosicky, do you reckon?
Yeah, you can kind of get by without the MC, can't you?
Yeah.
But you probably want the attacking three still there for on the counter attack. But we'll see what OB wants to do as the for fuck's sake comes to the chat.
Are we saying this is the best Saviola on championship competitive champ we've ever had?
I would say it's probably the most consistent. I think Scotty Bostock had one at Bostock who was very, very good, along with Ortega, funnily enough. But I think definitely, I know we've seen peaks and troughs, but we've never seen kind of 3 consistent seasons back to back. OB, just give us a shout that is what you want. Steve, remember you can obviously make the changes for yourself as well. So if you can just give us an as is it one of the best Van Nistelrooys we've ever seen, KD?
Yeah, he's definitely getting goals, isn't he? Definitely, like 10 over double figures each time. Yeah, he's one of them ones, isn't he, that every time people pick him up, but then if you get over 10 with him, you're pretty lucky. But yeah, especially in the two.
All right, then we haven't seen anything from Steve, so we'll just go. Half time is 8 minutes away, and it is Figo straight from the free kick, who has been very, very good for Steve. Puts them 1-0 up, and there is the second. Figo has caused havoc. There was the commentary. So Figo is probably going to be on a 9, I would say here. An assist and a goal direct from a free kick. As the two Tuvua boys find themselves 2-0 down and a man down at half time. 6s and 7s could have been a hell of a lot worse, really, there, stats wise.
Yeah, the sending off finished them, didn't it? They were hanging on until then, and then
it did certainly feel like that. And Figo's on a 10 at half time, which you very, very rarely see. Let's just see. I'm sure they hit the post twice. Yeah. Figo hit the post, scores Volodenkov, or Montella hit the post just before, and then the goal. Yeah, it's a roll to 60 from the boys, and we'll just see what Steve Wright wants to do. I can't imagine him changing anything here. No yellows to protect.
No, just go for it, won't he? What's he got on the bench? Maybe after 60, if it's still this, he might rest one, but
yeah, I didn't clock who had yellows in his pack, but he might want to protect one of those suspensions going into the back end. And it is Montella. It won't count. Scholes, he was offside. Van Nistelrooy with a chance. Hedman, who's been really good for Steve, again with another big save. Saeed on a 9. But probably no bookings is a bit of an indicator that they're not getting anywhere near Vanuatu this game, Dan.
No, not getting involved, are they? I don't know if was he tempted to take one of the strikers off, put Decor in there as well, and go for them. Try and get involved.
Yeah. And Steve Wright's blip is very much done. Imperious performance, this from Figo in particular. And also Rui Costa, who has been and is really one of a kind of a Steve Wrighty type player, isn't he? Jens, yes, I'll put you on next, mate. It was just OB had made a request to go first because you've got some stuff on at home. Roll it. About time we got back on the horse. Indeed, Steve, indeed. And nobody will be wanting to... Hang on. The boys didn't give us their changes? There we go. Sorry, OB. And we'll go like that. Apologies, OB, mate. A little bit of a click too early there. As the two Tuvua boys try and get back into this, it would be some comeback if they were able to get back into this. And it is 3-0. Nikiforenko. Steve seeing all the names. He probably just wants a Montella goal here to be the perfect performance, to be honest. And this probably ends, in fact, it will end the two Tuvua season, really, that back-to-back defeats without scoring. Yeah. And that is absolutely dominant. Red card, massive help there. But your thoughts, KD?
Yeah, massive performance, wasn't it? Yeah, very good. Like you said, goals from everybody you wanted. Just a Montella one, but he had one disallowed, didn't he? So I'd be happy with that.
Yeah, Figo man of the match performance, 6 shots and 5 of them on target. It is definitely the best Figo we've ever seen. 7 assists, 2 goals, and then on top tonight, a goal and an assist as well. It's pretty
darn 6 shots good. From the wing as well.
Yeah, where was he playing? On the right-hand side. Yeah.
Wow.
Taking advantage of those long arrows on wing backs, I think. But well played, State. Unlucky to the boys. And we will go over to Vikings next. Vikings, who have kind of won one, lost one, won one, but again look really, really dominant. This 11 looks very, very solid. Your thoughts on Vikings, KD?
Yeah, they're good again, aren't they? Very good. He had a bit of a wobble at the start, didn't he? It was a few weeks where he weren't going great, but as always, yeah, they're there or thereabout. Sigalko getting goals as well, just what he wants.
Yeah, and they play a Wanganui side who I think it's fair to say this season's been a bit of a slog for them, but their form has picked up over the last couple of weeks. 2 wins back to back and a couple of draws in there as well. So they are being a little bit more resilient than they perhaps were. Where's the danger for Jens here tonight?
That Totty, isn't it? If he has a game, if he turns it on, then he could be good. I like that squad, that 11.
Yeah, it does feel a bit of you, that, mate.
Yeah, there's some good players in there.
It does feel a bit of you. Yes, it'll be because we cannot save the tactic file in that for the captaincy there. So sorry. Okay, yeah, this is a big game for the Vikings. They'll want to, now that Vanuatu have won, they'll want to keep the pressure up on them and not have a little bit of a gap. See, Roberto is in there. Of course, Totty getting a shout, who is a former Viking. Jens knows him well from his time in the Super League. And feels a little bit 50-50, but the Vikings are just starting to take control of possession.
I think Jens takes a point here, doesn't he? He'll happily take a point.
And that is a massive injury going into the back end of the season. Jens did ask for Nesta to come back in his submission, and he was already on an orange injury, and that's probably backfired for him there in his submission. I'm assuming it's going to be Tudor because that's who Nesta came in for.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Yeah, he only had 1 day left. He only had 1 day left on the fitness, and it's kind of bit him in the arse a little bit there, but still plenty of talent on the pitch. Charlie Chaos trying to get in, and then Sigalko, which I think was on the rebound from a save from Charlie Chaos, does get the goal. Deserved from the Vikings as they were kind of really trying to control the possessions. Roberto, and there is Janacheda, who is an outright savage legend for both Asta and Wanganui and Stanley. For all of those teams, actually, I should say. Feels like since the goal, Wanganui have got back into it here. Toldo with a massive save. And a fantastic save again. Oh, Mido put it wide. Oh, and there is Zowie. And with a team like the Vikings, if you don't take your chances, then they're going to punish you down.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, Wanganui were playing really well there. Needed the goal, didn't they? Didn't quite get it.
Yeah, still there for them, though. Still there for them. Probably the stats don't reflect the chances that we'd seen in terms of the overall performance. Maxim on an 8 assist from Nedved, who's been very, very good. And Zari popping up with a goal there as well. It is a good game, Sav. It's very, very end-to-end. And we'll see what the boys want to do at half-time. I'm not sure what Savage would do, to be honest, because I thought they looked pretty decent.
Yeah, you're not changing a lot there, are you? Maybe the arrows off the 2 strikers and leaving them up top.
He does have Osmanowski on the bench, who he has used kind of sparingly as an out of the league, but has popped up with a couple of goals. It's an as-is from Jens, which is not a surprise.
No. Just looking at Addo there, he's a bit of an underrated one, isn't he? Doesn't pop up in the best DMCs, but always half decent.
Yeah, I find he's a bit 50-50. Some saves you get him and he's up there with the best, and then some saves you get him and this kind of fourth column just isn't really developed as much, particularly around kind of like tackling and work rate. I always kind of worry if you've got a DMC and he's below 15 work rate, I kind of worry about that, but that's just me. It's an as-is from Savage, so we'll go to 60 minutes. We'll see. Yeah, cheers, Sav. I did miss it because I just seen Jens's comment. We get a 60, and it is still very, very much Hodgie with a shout around Addo in at centre back. De Jong and Exteberia on 6s. Kind of 2 creative people you want to be seeing something happen from. We might see Osmanowski and Donovan there, or Janachera maybe pushed forward into Tetradzion. In terms of the Vikings, Veron on a 6 in that AMC position. He's been really good for Jens from that DMC, but not so much from the AMC. So we have seen
Toldo having a big game as well. He's made a lot of big saves in there, hasn't
he? Yeah, what's that looking like for Toldo? Yeah, big performance from Toldo at the back there. We'll see what Jens wants to do condition-wise. Nothing to worry about of any significance. Nedved on 84, but he's out there on the left wing. He doesn't have to necessarily stick much graft in. Are you doing anything of your Savage here, Dan?
Like I said, just probably the arrows off the strikers, maybe. Maybe Donovan for De Jong and switch with Totti. Totti, we know, can do something from centre mid.
So he wants a longer arrow and Nido for Osmanowski. And then, that looks good to me. And then Jens is replying with Sheva for Ferguson and swap with Veron. To be fair, that's been a bit of a go-to sub for Jens, and it makes total sense. As we'll play this through to the end. And Wanganui will see. Ronaldo looked to be through one-on-one there, but didn't quite finish it. Feels very grey and black here. 85 minutes now. Have they got something in them? Totti puts it wide from the free kick, and the Vikings are the second team in the top 6 tonight to win. With Wanganui unlucky, Dan, would you say, on the balance of the game?
Yeah, I think we'll see a Toldo 9 or a 10, won't we, if we switch over? Oh, down to an 8. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, a bit of a weird one, that. Charlie Chaos continues to be absolutely dominant in that midfield area. Bit of a metronome for this Vikings side. And Maxim, with his 1 goal and putting himself about a bit, gets the points. Well done to Jens, and unlucky to Savage. The game takes us next to Daz versus Dimble. I think they're both in the chat, and this is how the Aborigines go tonight. Daz, who's had his best season to date with the most wins he's ever had, which is worthy of respect and kind of credit, but is very, very inconsistent. Kind of draw 1, lost 1, won 1, lost 1, won 1, lost 1. So he will try to kind of build something that builds a little bit more form. Over to the Blitz, who are just, I think, Dan, just kind of, although they've got a couple of defeats in here, when they win, they absolutely batter teams.
Yeah, I remember that Unicorns game. That could have been anything that night, couldn't it?
Yeah, was it 4-0 before half time? Yeah, 3-0 before half time. That could have been absolutely anything. So this is how Dims goes. I know there'll be a hell of a lot of players in here, KD, that you absolutely love.
Yeah, Rivaldo wide left, Vogel in there. Yeah. He's had a good season, Rivaldo, actually. And Nelka's done stuff for me in the past. Yeah.
And Nelka's still unhappy, but still absolutely banging them in. 15 and 21 is a ridiculous return. Best of luck to both managers. We'll kick it off and we'll see how we get on. Aborigines just trying to edge into the game. They've got the majority of the possession on the bottom there. Robin was felled. I think it was a booking for Okaranko, but we'll see how that goes. Santa Cruz with a half a chance. Samuel with a big challenge. And, Mendieta with a rebound from a free kick. Spray pulling off a couple of big saves. Another free kick from Mendieta. Yellow card. That could have been red from Bogle. Was reading like a build-up to a red. Very, very even first half. Both sides with chances. And I'm loving the kind of East Coast Cosmos reverse away kit here for the Blitz. Very, very good. Anything jumping out at you there from the Aborigines, Dan?
It seemed to be quite Blitz heavy, but the stats were quite level, weren't they? Dimble will be happy though, won't he? That's exactly this is a Dimble performance. Come out second half and
win the game. Yeah, Mendieta on a 5 in a booking, but it's an as is from both managers. We'll see which one of them can get the first goal. We jumped to 67 minutes, and there is Rivaldo on the clip. He's been so good for Dimble this season. Probably the most influential player in the side at the minute, other than Anelka in terms of performances. Daz will be really hard done by with those ratings, 8s, 9s at the back. Definitely done his best, but not quite enough to keep the Blitz out. Mendieta has turned his 5 to a 6, and then there are a lot of kind of average 6s in there. But again, like you said, they come out and they usually get the result. Kuhl on a 77%. Are you doing anything there, Dan?
Yeah, what's he got on the bench? Yeah, Tom Tom's on the bench, and he might be worth a swap over for Kuhl. He's got a team full of those players, though, haven't they? Where he doesn't necessarily have to play well, but Mendieta, we know, likes the late goal. Rivaldo, he's got people to score goals when he needs.
Yeah, he's got match winners on that bench, honey. Players that are capable of coming off and doing bits. Teneto for Vogel and swap with Elias. There we go. Perfect. Cheers, Dims. And interesting to see Tomadira coming on. Tomadira has been really good for Daz and then doesn't start tonight. Yeah, he's always mad. He's been mad the whole season, but he's got 15 and 21 Tato. It's insane. Excuse me, boys. Keele must score, but there's an important tackle. Aborigines have not been in it since the 60-minute mark. They're very, very lucky to only be 1-0 down based on this text. Have they got anything in them? No, they haven't. And the stats kind of reflect that Blitz really put the foot down in that second half of the second half. But the Aborigines couldn't find anything free with the man of the match, which reflects that bombardment at the end, Dan.
Yeah, definitely. I say, as we said, that's an absolute Dimble masterclass, isn't it? If he could do that every week, he'd be well happy, wouldn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. And another one of the top 6 come away with a win.
That's probably Aborigines out now as well, isn't it?
You would imagine so. Yeah, absolutely. Over to the Rapa Nui boys who look like this, Dan. Brace yourself.
Okay, yeah. I've seen that a minute ago, haven't we? It's the Materazzi as well. Ooh.
Yeah,
he's one to play there.
He's a bit Marmite, isn't he? He's a bit Marmite. You either love him or you absolutely hate him. And over to the Unicorns, who were an Ayola in for Lasisi, who is suspended as Smuts looks to continue his decent run. Best of luck to both managers. We'll see how this goes. Pot shot over the ball from Rumashenko, I think. Doesn't find the back of the net. Top corner. And it feels very, very green and yellow. But Mpenza comes up with a goal from a corn spillage, I think, a red. Certainly felt as though he dropped it and then put it in the back of the net. It's 1-0 at half time as another member of the top 6 find themselves ahead at the break. Over at Unicorns, pretty solid front to back. Patatoglu on a 6 and a yellow, probably the only minor worry. Beckham being very quiet. And then over to the Rapa Nui boys, who text-wise didn't feel as though they were second best, but going second best on the scoreline, Dan.
Yeah, that's not a bad performance, was it? You said Beckham. What's he been like? How's he been getting on? Unicorns. It seems like he's been quiet, but oh no, there you go. 6 and 16. That's not bad, assist-wise.
Yeah. MR's a really shit position in it. You take that, I think.
Yeah.
Contribution every other game.
Yeah.
As Tato says, it's half time. Shouldn't Doug be taking over now? Well, I don't know, mate. I'll leave that public to the side. As we go and see if anything comes through, it's an as-is from Smuts. Thank you, mate. And we'll see. It's a roll from Rob. I can understand that, to be honest. It did feel very yellow. As is from both. Beckham with a corner, big low save down from Mpenza. 48 minutes now. Guerrero with another chance. If the goal's going to come, is it going to come from Guerrero? He's been absolutely everywhere in this second half. Inzaghi with a low drive, another corner. Khan with another save. And I think the racists will be feeling like they're unlucky not to be ones each there. Guerrero kind of went on a one-man mission to try and find the goal, but didn't do it. Udeze on a 5. Woodgate on the bench there. Should Rob want to hook him? And Materazzi on a 6. Probably bring another attacker on for Materazzi here, Dan? Or swap Materazzi. Is he in
and then Udeze for, what's it? Oh, Salas, I suppose, is the obvious one.
And then over to Unicorns.
Not swapping anything there, is he? Carry on, I reckon.
Rob goes with Daisy for Woodgate and Salas on for Pippo. We'll see what Smuts wants to do.
Wonder if Smuts might go 5 across that DMC line. Georgettos back one, maybe Beckham for Ojo, or carry on. No,
Yeah, I tell you what, I think a large part of Smuts' success over the last, I'd say, probably kind of 2 seasons of both leagues, it is Mike Duff, is I think he's tweaked less. You see far more as-is from him than ever before, which is I think is like absolutely sensible. As we'll see, if anybody gets the winner, nobody gets the winner. And Rapa Nui probably deserved the point.
Played well. Played well.
Very rare you see an Iola man of the match. You know this. He's fucking let you down enough times.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. He's got a couple of mine because he's got Martin Larson as well, hasn't he? Just a couple of players. Some centre backs let me down.
Yeah, and Rob's changes kind of really bearing fruit. Guerrero with an assist, who was everywhere in that second half and deserves it. And Duff with the goal, half the offside against the sweeper. Yeah, good spot. Good spot, Hodgie. We go over just where the game's taken us now because we've only got a couple left, I think. Yeah, we have. We go over to the Warriors against Roxas AFC, who go like this. Couple of changes to rotate for the Raul and Hart injury. Scott's had a bit of a rough ride with injuries the last couple of weeks. Van der Vaart came in and was injured. Lizarazu injured. Hart injured. And then obviously Raul, who's been very, very good for him since coming in, injured as well, but probably should have enough tonight against the FC, Scotty. Dan?
Yeah, it should have. Yeah, you never know with AFC though, do you? Some weeks they'll turn up and be brilliant, won't they? So.
Yeah, I can't remember what the result was, where they absolutely battered someone 4 or 5-0 or something, just like absolutely out of nowhere.
I quite like the Bowyer at DMC with the arrow. He seems to be getting a lot out of him.
Oh, and there is Smuck.
There we go. Yeah.
Is it going to be one of those weeks where AFC turn up and do some damage? And it is Juan Gomez who is injured. We're unlikely to see Rocks. I will just give him a couple of seconds, but I'm going to do pet cough. Any objections to that?
No.
Yeah, I have tried Bowyer at DMC a couple of times in that flat 3 with the wingers, but it didn't really do anything for me. We'll just give Roxy. Who was it that they turned up and battered out of the nowhere? There. Oh, it was the Warriors. Wow.
It was the Warriors, yeah. Ooh,
wow, okay. Bogey team then.
Found their weakness, yeah.
Bogey team. We will rock on. I haven't seen anything from Rocks, no pun intended. And this is not what Scotty would want in terms of momentum. Haven't seen most of the top 6 win and Unicorns draw. Big chance for Townsville tonight. If they were to win, they would close the gap on Unicorns. Warriors absolutely on top by that one shot from AFC, but it is enough to put them 1-0 ahead at half time. Any thoughts there? Attackers have been quiet for Scotty there.
Yeah, it's can't see him doing a lot till 60, to be honest.
And as far as away ratings go, pretty decent for Roxy. To be fair, I haven't seen Scotty since really early on, so I don't know if he's kind of just watching in the background. Oh, there he is. There he is. He's a champ man, loyalist through and through, and he's always here. Yeah. Finnan for Donny. Move to LM with an arrow, so getting rid of that asymmetric and rolling it just a little bit more symmetrical, and we'll roll on to 60. Oh, and I think that was a score for AFC, but didn't. Crespo now starting to get involved. We will click there just in case, and it is Van der Vaart on the tick. Oh, it's offside. That is harsh. That is absolutely harsh for Scotty. Van der Vaart has been out for a good couple of weeks. That's exactly what he would have wanted to see, but the linesman's flag goes up for Rocks when he just watches it back, and Scotty will just give you eyes on your full pack there, mate, just given that Rocks isn't here and we're not in a rush because we don't need to do 2 teams. Tactic-wise, what's his option?
Sorry.
Go on.
That Rocks front 3, unbelievable.
Yeah. It's like a smaller horse front 3, that, isn't it? Not a yeah. What's his options here, Dan?
Probably Hersey. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Yeah.
Scotty, just give us a thumbs up there, bud. that you're happy with that. Definitely the best Dino's been.
Yeah, he's had a slow season, hasn't he? Yeah.
Yeah. He's done more. He's coming up to nearly doing more for him in this season than he did in 2 for me. As we will roll to the conclusion. Smoking the yellow card in the book. This would be a massive, massive 3 points lost if Scotty couldn't get back into this here. Paragon was through 1 goal there. Flag goes up there and denies it. And there is Ronaldinho.
There he is.
Called it. Has he got a second one? And there is the 2. Out of absolutely nowhere, Scotty's main men do turn up, inspired by Ronaldinho. Sucker punch. He will be absolutely dancing his tits off. Ronaldinho goal, Ronaldinho assist in the last kind of 5 minutes of the game as another top 6 side win. Dan, your thoughts there, mate?
Yeah, smash and grab at the end, but he probably deserved it on the balance of play. And like you said, Ronaldinho, goal and assist. And an assist from the Hajicic as well, which you'll be happy with.
That's what you pay the big money for Ronnie for. We'll go over to our game now, Dan, if that's all right with you, mate. Roberto comes into DML. Orca and both Roberto Carlos are injured. Other than that, it's an as-is. And then your team tonight, do you want to give us the kind of lowdown on what you went for?
Yeah, so it's a well-known thing, isn't it? How many years we've been playing against each other now that you always pack the midfield against me, absolutely dominate it, and normally win 2 or 3-0. So
yeah, what's our record been like this save? Okay, so not as like whitewashy as you maybe think.
Yeah, it's normal. Yeah, but I think if you look back though, I think I've changed it and put people in the midfield as well to try and get that. But
we'll see how we go. We all have our voodoo teams, and I think it's fair to say I've been a little bit of a voodoo for you, mate, over the years. So I totally
definitely.
Hobart will be looking to stop the Dragons on a bit of a run, and they're more than capable of doing it. They're getting a lot of the ball now. Have the Dragons got anything else in response? Stam goes down. Vieri just puts it over. Feels a little bit more pink and black going to the half time. Of course, Vanuatu having won. Dragons will be wanting to win to kind of keep that momentum up at the top of the table. Dibiagio goes into the book as we get to half time. Nothing much to shout about, really. A little bit of a stalemate. Hobart seemed on top for the first 20 minutes. But yeah, we'll see how we go. I'll just give you a second to kind of digest that, KD. You doing anything at half time there, bud?
Can you just put some longer arrows on the 2 wingers, please? Probably should.
Yeah.
A bit more adventurous.
Simkoviak and Cole. Just bomb them on, try and get in behind those 2 Dragons. Wingbacks, 53 minutes played. And there is Thierry Henry, who has been absolutely superb for the Dragons since coming in. And Henry hits the post again. We'll just have a little bit of a look. We'll go Raquelme for back, and I think that's all we do. Dan, there's your kind of full look at all the stats there with you being on core comms, mate.
We'll push the 2 midfielders to AMC. We'll do what? Yeah.
Arrows?
The one. Yes, please. Yeah.
Nothing else?
Back to normal. Yeah.
Okay, spot on. And we'll see how that changes things. As Emerson, and there's a bit more white and red here in the big chance for Elbar off the crossbar. Dragons under that cosh a little bit here. Joe Cole goes into the book. Can the Dragons hang on? It is Cafu, puts it over. Free kick to Dragons. Have they got anything left in the tank to kind of hang on? Feels like Hobart have definitely came on with all those arrows. And that is the final whistle. Not the most spectacular, but an absolutely solid 1-0 shutout from the Dragons. Hobart to be coming on top. Well played, mate. Unlucky. Your thoughts at full time?
Yeah, well played. Yeah, that's not too bad. I'm gonna have to do something with Elbar. The chances he misses, it's just not. 6-18 isn't bad, but just.
I think I noticed that the other night as well. Didn't he have one game where he had like 5 shots and had hit like one of them on target or something? Jeremy's with a man of the match performance, a large part of the reason why the Dragons were able to hold on there. And of course, Gigi Buffon, who's been very, very good. Unlucky Dan, well played, mate. And fair fucks for giving it a go at the end there, bud. Yeah. We go over to the last game of the night. So let's just see what we're looking like in terms of the table, Dan. So Dragons are on 43, Vanuatu are on 40, Vikings are on 38, Warriors are on 38, Blitz are on 37, Unicorns are on 35. If Townsville were to win, they would be on 32.
If Townsville win, I think that's probably it. And it's then between Townsville and the top 6, isn't it? Basically.
Yeah. So if Townsville win, then they're 3 points behind Unicorns. Unicorns would have Rocks, Stee, you, and Viennes to play. So a bit of a 50-50 kind of fixture-wise thing there. Townsville with a horrific pack, which you'll see in a second, would have Savage, me, the two Tavour boys, and Wanganu. So I think fixtures-wise, it's a bit of a 50-50. But Hodgie probably needs to get the job done tonight. This is how the Bushrats go. Giggs and Ortega on the wings, and Maldini and Milevski come out, or Perry and the young pure Simeone going into the middle. And Townsville with a horrendous pack with 3 starters all out go like this. They will be looking to get the win. Predictions for this one? This is a massive game in terms of keeping the league alive.
I think we're going to get a draw and it's going to help neither of them.
That would be it, wouldn't it? Yeah, and there is Seb Larson, who, if the Bushrats have got any hope, they've probably got to go on a kind of clean run and run the full thing, run the table now with 4 wins from 4 after this game if they win tonight. And it is Alan Smith who's been very, very, very good this save, and it is Clivert. And the Bushrats, Tate will be absolutely fuming that it's taken 22 game weeks for this attack to click. Giggs and Clivert have eventually started linking up, and they are absolutely laying a hiding down for Townsville. And if there's somebody who'll be happy other than Tate or the Unicorns manager, I'll be looking at this thinking, thank fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, unbelievable that first half, Dan.
Yeah, exactly what it needed, wasn't it? Yeah. Like you said, yeah, Giggs has turned up last, 6-7 games? Been brilliant.
And 5s from Taibbi, Yepes, and GVB for the Townsville boys.
Daz in the chat saying, didn't need Tato winning this. I think your time's gone, mate. You're the same as me. I think it's a bit like that.
Yeah, I think he means as in he wanted to finish above Tato this season.
Oh, right. Okay.
So prior to that, Tato was 2 points below him. Smuts there saying he feels dirty wanting Tato to win. Yeah, don't we all, mate? Don't we all? And we'll see what Hodgie making a good point. Actually, someone can easily lose 5 on the spin at any time. There's a lot of football to be played. Spoken like a wise head, someone who's been there and seen it and done it. But we haven't seen any changes from Hodgie so far. Tato's with an as is and a roll as Tato says he's coming to get you. So it's roll for both, and we'll go to 60. Is Clivert going to get a hat trick here? LYP with a half a chance. We'll click there. And Morientes, is there life in this game yet? Hodgie said there was a lot of football to be played.
Van Bronckhorst on the 5s, AM. Don't see that often, do you?
Yeah, I quite like him. He's a really solid backup DMC. I even like him as a wing back as well. Yeah, that 60-minute click has been on fire tonight. Sorry, Spud. As we've got 10s for Clivert and Smith.
Alan Smith having a
it's been
underrated.
Unbelievable.
I can't even get him to score goals on the home save, so I don't know if he's done
it. Yeah. I got him off Rob. When did I get him off Rob? Maybe a season and a half ago? Or probably a season ago, actually. And because he was behind Clivert, he just never got a Smith. But I never got a sniff. But I remember saying to Scotty, he looks really fucking good. Like, he needs to be starting for somebody. GVB off for Tristan. 3 up top. Helguera off for Alex. Stick him in AMC. Hodgie, if you just confirm that for me, please. Do you want an arrow on Alex, or are you happy to go with that? Tato, if I lose this from here now, shoot me now. Yeah, that one, Scott and Rob a few weeks back was brutal, wasn't it? Especially because he was on comms as well.
Yeah.
No arrow, lovely. Okay, bud. Thank you very much. Glad I checked. And we'll see what happens from here. Highest scoring game of the night being left till last.
Townsville get a goal in the next 5, it's going to be
Yeah, we'll slow it down if they do get a goal here, I think. Although it would be typical Champ to not give us anything after 6 goals in the first 60 minutes. And there is Alan Smith again. And there is Kluivert. Oh, offside. And the Bushrats are maybe, just maybe, letting Unicorns know it's not done yet, but it would be a massive, massive ask. A bit Dragons-esque, actually, that coming from late and getting 6th. Congratulations to Bushrats. That's an absolutely phenomenal performance, scoring 4. KD, your thoughts there, mate?
Yeah, big performance from Bushrats. Townsville, I think, gutted with the players missing, weren't they? But still, Bushrats brilliant.
Yeah, and the players that have came in have struggled. Yepes, Van Bronckhorst have not really done much in place of players who've been really, really solid from in terms of the season. That brings us to the classifieds. So Bundaberg Blitz with a goal from Rivaldo managed to get the win. Bushrats, we've just seen absolutely dominate Townsville and smash 5 past them. Dragons came off best in a very, very close 1-0 with a defensive performance there. Vanuatu got back to winning ways, scoring 3 from 3 big players for Stay going into that playoffs kind of territory. Unicorns, the only side in the top 6 not to win tonight, but probably have enough of a gap to make it safe for them. The Warriors coming back from 1-0 down inside the last 5 or so minutes with Ronaldinho getting a goal and an assist. And then Vikings, we saw them really early on, a 50-50 kind of good tennis match against Wanganui and coming out with the 3 points, which leagues the league table like this. And the Dragons, because Townsville lost tonight, are the first team to get an official queue. And I think that is one of the earliest queues we've ever had, Dan.
Yeah, congratulations, mate. Yeah, good.
Cheers, mate. Appreciate it. Stay hot on the tail of the Dragons with a win tonight on 40 points. Vikings and Warriors joint on 38 points with Blitz on 35 and the Unicorns on 35. 37 Blitz, sorry, and Unicorns on 35. Townsville on 29, Bushrats on 28. So what is that? That's a 7-point difference with 12 to play for. It's doable. It's doable.
He's got to beat some big sides, though. So Blitz, you're going to worry about. Blitz and you are probably the two, aren't they? Where
you're basically looking. Yeah. You're basically looking. Oh, cheers for the congrats, boys. You're basically looking over the next 2 game weeks. Tato has to better Smuts' result.
Yeah.
So who's got Smuts next? So he's got Rocks next. No disrespect, but to be fair, the way Nigga or going, you think that's a bit of a 3 points for Smuts. Tato really has to better his 2 results there, points wise, to try and claw that game back. If Smuts was to lose 2 and Tato was to win 2, the gap would be a point. But you'd think that's probably a bit of a big ask, but Tato will give it a go. You can indeed get the 40 points, mate. Fixtures for Wednesday night, I'll get the pack out straight away. We've got AFC against Unicorns, Blitz against the Bushrats, Hobart against Tutuvua, Rapa Nui against Aborigines, Townsville against Wanganui, Vanuatu against Warriors. That is a massive game. And then an even bigger game is the Vikings against the Dragons.
That's very much bottom half, top half games, isn't it?
Yeah. These 2 fixtures here could be massive in terms of determining who finishes in the top 2, really, because that's really the great game at stake now, isn't it? You probably think Unicorns are out with the top 2, 5 points, 12 points to go. They're probably not going to do that. But any one of these 5 teams can finish top 2 from here. I play Vikings and I play Blitz. And I think that must be the same for... No, Steve's probably got the easiest run there, to be honest with you. Dragons, Warriors, yeah. So there's a lot to play for. In terms of team stats, that is the form table. Dragons now, I think, have won 6 on the spin. In terms of player stats, Tamati, big miss for you there tonight, Dan.
Yeah, he's been excellent, and really, really good. Yeah.
Top goal scorers, Anelgaran and Penza and Sigalko are vying it out at the top. And then we've got, in terms of assists, Figo, who's been magic, Giggs, Kluivert, they're going to be massive. That combination is going to be massive for Tato next season. And then in terms of tackles, and in terms of dribbles, and in terms of... There we go. All right, Dan, anything you want to close with, mate?
No, really good. Nice one, lads, everyone. Yep. It's been good. It's been another good season, isn't it?
Has, mate, as always. Cheers for joining us on Core Comms, mate. It does make life a little bit easier when you're not having to fill and look at the comments and stuff. So I really do appreciate your time, bud. I'll get the pack out straight away, boys, and up the All-Stars. Happy Easter.